First of all, I need to snap everybody.
Wow.
Because I need to show everybody why I needed to have a bath before I came here tonight.
This will prove it.
This is why I needed a bath.
Wow.
This is why I needed a bath. And a coffee in the bath because I've been up since 2:30 a.m. LA time. Thanks,
Wow.
guys.
That's very thoughtful.
Thanks, guys. That's great content. You all looked really hot. Okay.
Hey, listen, I'm going to take a gamble right now. If you're here, you know precisely who Kelly Oxford is. So let's get down to brass tacks and welcome the New York Times best-selling author who is smart and sincere, who is endearing and engaging, and a social media maverick up onto the stage, and let's get down to business, huh? Yeah. So I want to get something out of the way before we talk about your extraordinary second book, and it's a bit heavy, and then I promise we will lighten things up. F, marry or kill. Do you know the game?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I am very good at this game. I might be a master.
Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street. Frank Abagnale Jr., Catch Me If You Can.
Oh.
And Jack Dawson, if he survived, Titanic. F, marry or kill. Who would you choose?
Oh, Jesus. F, Catch Me If You Can.
Interesting.
Oh,
Someone
yeah.
said yeah. Okay.
Okay, somebody gets my vibe.
Yeah.
Catch Me If You Can.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then kill Wolf of Wall Street, marry Jack Dawson.
Clearly.
You guys, I nailed that.
Yeah. That was
Please.
excellent.
A round of applause.
Okay, one more.
Oh.
Pretty Woman characters. I know you love the film. You've seen it probably, several times.
Yes.
Maybe 100.
Maybe 100.
And I'm not including Jason Alexander's Swarmy character.
thank
because
you.
It's too easy. It's too easy,
I was
though.
like, wait,
that's who
that
you'd
one's-
be.
that's who
you'd
you'd
kill.
That's who you kill.
So Edward Lewis,
Yeah.
Richard Gere, Vivian, obviously Julia, no last name required.
Yeah.
And the hotel's
Oh,
Barney
yeah, he's
Thompson,
great.
who is played by the incredible actor Hector Elizondo.
I would probably marry him.
Yeah.
And now it's very difficult. I would definitely end up killing Richard Gere because he isn't.
Yeah.
Right?
Because it's Julia.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I think
I
you did
know.
the right thing
Okay,
here.
thank you.
You definitely did the right thing.
Okay, thank you. That was a mind fuck, that one.
Sorry about that. I'm going to keep that to a minimum. I promise right off the bat. Mic'd right there, too. Okay, and quickly, just one.
I'm going to try and get her to do that
So, no.
Let's tonight.
That no one needs it. So book tours are an incredible thing, but they're also there's so much grind involved. You haven't stopped
Yes.
for a long time. Is there a question that you dread answering 12 times a day, just so I can scratch it off my list?
Yes, there is. And I feel bad saying it
No.
because everybody asks the question.
But now you can say it, and it'll just hopefully everyone will find out.
How do you know what to share and what not to share on social media?
Oh, snap. Okay, let's just remove that one. Okay, it's related anyway.
Okay.
That's enough with the hardball questions. Just gonna have a quick little drink. We're gonna get down now to business.
Get a little drinky in.
Let's
you guys
talk
had
about.
your drinks. I'm
Yeah,
not
there we
gonna
go.
drink. You're
There we
not
go.
Drinking. Okay, there's a few.
Let's
people.
relax.
Not enough.
Let's
I'm not
talk
doing it.
about when you find out The World Is Against You. It's your second book, and I know you've been asked this before, but I want to have a personal answer in front
Yes,
of
just
all of
for
us.
you.
How different is it to put on a different writing cap? Or how difficult is it to put on a different writing cap? You're writing screenplays, you're working on TV pilots, and then you're writing this book. Is it
Yeah.
tricky?
No, it's nice because when you get sick of it feels like school. Like being a writer feels like school. It feels like every night is Sunday night before a book report is due, and you haven't started your book report. That's what it feels like every single day. And it's nice when it isn't a book report and it's an essay, or it's, you know what I mean? Like switching up the medium is really nice to be able to do.
So what?
It isn't difficult at all.
Really?
No.
Wow.
No, because one's just like dialogue and visuals, and then the other is like the nitty gritty, getting into the visuals and describing everything. So they're very different.
And then writing memoir-style
Yeah.
pieces, that's
where you do all the details.
that's where you all do all the details.
Yeah, and you get to sort of gloss those over in script writing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite chapters, Keeping Score, in the new book, I laughed out loud when I read your description of your son, Henry, who's 13 now, but I'm sure
yeah.
he was probably
Little
4
guy.
years
Yeah,
younger.
he was- yeah.
And you described him as being part Ferris Bueller and
Yeah.
part Max Fisher from Rushmore,
Yes.
if you guys know that character.
Yeah.
And that was, to me, just a light bulb went out, and I was like,
Oh, you know that kid.
I clearly know who
Yeah,
this
you
kid
know
is.
that kid. Yeah.
But have you ever done that to yourself, like with fictional
Oh.
characters?
With who I am.
Yeah.
Yes. I am Cameron Fry from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I almost got you again. A little bit Cher Horowitz from Clueless, because I'm a bit of a control freak and very optimistic when I don't really have a reason to be optimistic.
Sorry, keep going.
And Charlie Brown maybe, but that's Cameron Fry.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah, they're very similar.
Now, the chapter on boys, first of all, how many people have had a chance to read the book so far?
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
yeah, so I just want to know how much I need
lot.
to preface. It's very good, and everyone's clearly going home with the book tonight. So there's a chapter on boys and the body shop, and this is where you come to terms with the fact that when you were a teenage girl, you may have like stalked teenage boys, and you
Yes.
became obsessive, and you chronicled
Yes.
this in your diary, and it's very entertaining, and you have a great conversation with your daughter Salinger, Sal, and you're kind of worried, like you want her to read your diary and sort of suss out, like, is she as obsessive as I am? And she seems to be okay.
Yeah, she's okay.
Yeah.
She's got a firm grip on life that I didn't have when I was her age.
But is that still the same now? Because that
Yeah.
would have been, she's still okay.
Oh yeah, she's fine.
So help
It's so weird.
explain this to me then, because
I have no idea. I think it's because she's a Taurus.
That's possible. It's possible. I don't know what the characteristics
I
of a
think
Taurus
that's what
are.
it is.
But what are the characteristics
Like
of a Taurus?
grounded, steadfast, like stuff.
Like stuff?
Like likes items, like like
Physical stuff.
clothes and like looking like aesthetically good. Like, and I'm a Sagittarius, which is like woo, fun, let's go party and adventure and do a bunch of.
But that
stuff.
wouldn't seem like you'd be an obsessive character when you were like when I read that I was like,
Yeah, I was really crazy.
but I think
You just thought this girl was crazy.
no, I actually dug up my diary.
Oh, you
and I was like,
did?
every
Were you
single
the same?
day. It was a boy.
boy.
The same boy for like a year. And I
Yeah,
think
that was
about
like mine.
that wasted time. And,
know,
and you
it was so
really hit
much.
home. Such wasted
It was
time.
so stupid. Why wasn't I studying?
But do you think it's
All I was doing was studying Mike McGill. That's all I was doing. So stupid, such an idiot.
do you think there's any chance it's generational and not just astrology based?
No, because I think my son does it, and he's a Sagittarius.
Oh, it's true then. It's true. Astrology
Close
debunked.
that chapter up. We
Right
figured it out.
here. Yeah. Okay, my favorite chapter is Good Guy Gone, and this is a very emotional chapter. You write about the
Yeah.
passing of a dear family friend, John Binder, and you go back and forth between childhood memories, spending with him and his family, and you and your family growing up, and that sort of goes back and forth between the grieving process and the actual funeral. And you decide to take B, your youngest daughter, to the funeral, and there's a moment that really was quite touching. She starts crying fake tears because she sees everyone else crying. And
She's so good at crying.
oh my God, fake tears?
It's so weird. I really want to cash in on it, but I don't want to be one of those people who puts
Maybe
their
that's
kids
something
in
to
TV, but
consider.
like, she can cry on command.
Didn't you even offer
and
her
look
like,
like
a
she's
fake?
crying.
Yeah.
No, she just like looks emotionally just ruined. Oh
my
Like on
gosh.
command, if I'm like, can you just cry and show my friend you can cry, and she just is like, she can
do
fully
it.
do it. She can fully do it. And that was one of the first times I ever saw her do it, was at that funeral. And I knew she was faking it, but it was so good.
It would be
in
so
the face.
interesting, yeah.
It was so good in the face. I was just like, wow, like this kid's a psycho.
Careful. Thank you. My brother and sister-in-law took my 4-year-old nephew Ben to a funeral very recently,
Yeah.
and I thought they were out of their minds. A
Right.
4-year-old.
Right.
This is nuts.
Right.
And it was the best thing that they ever did. Instead of fake crying, he fake laughed. There was a beautiful tribute, and
Yeah.
he saw all the adults and heard all the adults laughing,
Yeah.
and he was like, laughing along like, you don't get that joke. You don't even know who this person is.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know.
So how
so
did you
great.
know to bring a kid? Because it was a decision you made. You said to your
Well,
dad on the
kids are
phone.
the greatest like drug that you can have. I love kids so much and little kids, and they're just they're so pure and so honest, even if they're doing things that really disturb you.
Yeah.
They're just the greatest medication for anybody. So bringing a child to a funeral is actually a smart idea. It's helpful for people, I think.
Did you have any doubt?
No.
And no doubts about B?
No.
What about other people's kids?
Oh, well, I tune them out. I'm very good at tuning out things after having 3 kids and being a parent for 16 years.
You can turn out.
Yeah, it
tune
doesn't.
another.
Other people's kids don't bother me. Kids, a baby could be crying beside me on a plane a whole flight, and I have no idea it's going on. I don't need alcohol. I don't need anything. I'm just. I think other mothers agree with me. If you've been a mother for more than like 5 years, it's just like you're done with hearing kids. It's like I can tune it out because that's how I survived for the last 5 years, was tuning out my children.
Sorry. Very controlled. Now, this is also the chapter where we learn about your parents' divorce.
Yes.
And you write that it might be more difficult as an adult than
This
as
is allergies. I'm not crying.
Okay.
This is pure allergy season.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So you write it might be more difficult as an adult to deal with parental divorce than as a kid, as a child.
I'm questioning it. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, because I didn't go through it as a kid. But definitely as an adult, it was very difficult to wade through what my mom was feeling, what my dad was feeling, what they both needed from me, because I'm their kid and they both, like needed stuff from me. And I was like, no, I'm the baby.
Why are you coming to
You're
me?
not supposed to come to me. You're supposed to be assuring me that things are fine, even though I'm a full-grown fucking adult. I still need you to be my mom and dad. But I think because we are all adults, they sort of like lost the parental, perimeters around everything and became friends with me, which I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, I can't talk you through how mad you are at dad.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, you can't be the sounding board for hearing
call
that.
a girlfriend, have some
Yeah,
wine.
not me.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah.
I'm busy with 3 kids and I'm moving to California. That's basically what I said.
Yeah,
I
we'll
was
deal
a
with this.
terrible daughter.
Well, I don't know about terrible, but you had to.
I
you
left
had
the
to,
country.
Yeah,
I did give her my house for 6 months, so that was nice of me.
that's a good daughter.
Yeah, that's a good daughter.
That's a good daughter.
Yeah.
But you have to kind of think about yourself, and I think in a situation like that,
Yeah.
that can be, you're the kid.
Yeah, I was the kid.
Your parents need to
yeah,
go
they,
to, yeah,
they
yeah.
needed to just pull up those bootstraps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A 2013 interview that I watched recently was on CBC. You said, I really don't like to write about transition right now because I really like perspective, so that you
Right.
sort of have that time and distance to better understand what a story is. And that was bang on. That makes so much sense. But do you feel pressure to share things that maybe you're not ready to share?
I feel pressure with myself to share things that I'm not ready to share, like stories. Like I know I want to write about, splitting up from my husband and, dating and all of those things, but I have no idea what that looks like. I'm just at the beginning of that. But I feel like pressure to already have a story about it where I'm just sort of in the middle of the story of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure I do.
And you're able to sort of handle that, internalize it fine.
I don't know if
Does it
it's
eat away?
fine. Yeah, it eats away at me
Yeah.
a little bit. I'm like, okay, can I make something weird happen?
Yeah.
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 No, I can't make something weird happen. I would ruin my life.
Gives you
It gives me a great story, though.
it gives you a great story.
Gives me another book right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An entire book,
another book.
potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know how New York is always sort of called the 5th character in Sex and the City?
Yeah.
They call it like the 5th, besides the 4 ladies.
Yeah.
So anxiety is almost like a character in this book.
Yes.
For you. It's like,
Yes.
preparing for earthquakes, James having an affair with a guy who powders his balls. We'll get to that. work, dying in your sleep, bumps in your armpits.
Yeah.
But you say you never, and this is where we're getting to that
Yeah.
dreaded question, but you say you never get anxious about social media, like not
Yeah,
even
I
the
don't.
trolls. Just
I
help me understand that, because it makes me want to smoke and
it's
drink, and
just
the idea of it destroys me.
I don't think there's anything wrong with smoking and drinking. I don't need a reason to do any of that
Okay, I'll
shit.
just-
I don't know, the trolls and things, they really bothered me at the beginning. I think if you don't get it a lot, it's more daunting.
Yeah.
Like if you only get it a few times, it's really like a terror thing. But once you get it like a few thousand times, you're just like, whatever, it's noise.
Yeah.
I think the first few times that I got really crazy messages, I addressed them right away and asked the person, like, why would you say this to me? And their response was always, haha, oh my God, I can't believe you responded.
Oh my gosh.
And then I'm like, oh, so this is all bullshit. Like, you really don't hate me. Like,
Yeah.
you just wanted me to respond to you. And then they're like, follow me. And I'm like, what? Wait a minute. You just told me I'm a bitch. You want me to follow you now
Yeah.
because I'm talking to you? We're friends now. It's like, no. So once you go through that, like maybe a dozen times, like I'm not even, it's not hyperbole, like a dozen times people doing that exact scenario after calling you a bitch or saying you're an unfunny whore or whatever they're saying, it's all noise. It doesn't matter. I just figure they're very sad people
Yeah.
that are just bored and on their computer and genuinely don't think that people are reading these mentions to
Yeah.
whoever they're sending them out to on Twitter.
And they just send
I
them
think
out.
there's just bored people.
Bored people.
Yeah, so they don't, like bored people, like sure, send it at me. Don't send it to somebody that's going to be hurt by it. I don't care.
Well, here's the thing. Do you
Like,
get
don't send it to you.
I would-
if one
I-
of my
I would-
people sent you one, I'd be like, no, send it to me.
Oh
I'm
my
okay
gosh,
with it.
that is like taking a bullet.
Oh, I would do it.
Yeah, I'm not
That's
ready
how I
for
get
it.
into heaven.
Oh my gosh.
It's true.
Oh my gosh. I hope this isn't an invitation for people to troll me right now, because then anyway.
But it's okay. I'll spin it around onto me, and then I'll get into heaven.
Do you get protective of loved ones, friends, or people that you know on Twitter?
But they're not on Twitter.
Because-
Like my family, and they're not online. Nobody's online. But my friends who are like famous, who are
Yeah.
online, no, they can handle it.
They can handle it.
Yeah, they can handle it.
James Franco, for example.
Yeah.
You've recently worked with him.
He's not on social
He's
media
not on
anymore.
social media at all.
He-
His
he
Instagram used to be
canceled
so
it.
good.
I know. He went offline.
Did he tell you why?
Yeah, but I'm not going to share it with everybody here.
Can you give us like a little James Franco?
He's
a little bit of
he's-
something?
He's just like he's a great guy. I worked with him on The Disaster Artist last year, which is coming out this year, and I was hired by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg to be the on-set writer of the movie, which is basically a hero's job because you just go to the set every day, and as they're acting, you're like, oh, you know what would be funny if you said this, and that's your whole job. And then James put me in the movie, so I'm in the movie for a little bit. Yeah, which is great.
So when
but
can we
he's
see
like
that?
the greatest. He's amazing. He's like an amazing collaborator, an amazing friend. He's just like a really smart, curious. He's like the person at the party who's asking everybody questions.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. He's great.
James Franco.
James Franco.
Just a small, yeah. James
Just a
Franco.
little
Yeah.
bit. James Franco.
I love James Franco so much. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's great. He's great, and he's obsessed with my kids too.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, we have like dinners together, and he's just like, "See you later, Kelly," and he just sits with
Just
the
hangs
kids.
out with the
Oh my
kids.
God, they yeah.
Did they know
The
it's
teens.
James Franco?
Yeah, they know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they change their behavior at all?
No.
No.
No,
They're not
B
better?
does. B gave him so much shit. I will tell you one thing that she did. Yes. He came over with, and he was doing all the votes for the Oscars, and he wanted to know who they wanted to vote for the Oscars. And we got to Best Actor, and B leaned over the couch, and she goes, "We should vote for James Franco." And he looked over at her, and he's like, "Oh, well," and she goes, "Oh, you're not nominated this year?" Guess we can't vote for you. That's my 8-year-old.
That's your 8-year-old.
Yeah.
That's what you have to deal with.
I have very good friends. I'm glad they stick around after that.
Lena Dunham. She wrote a book, Not That Kind of Girl. She was actually here, I think, a year or two ago now, up here sitting and discussing that book. And does anyone here remember the Pebble incident? Where she
Yes.
wrote what I thought was a very funny
It was a
bit.
great story.
It was one of my favorite parts
Me too,
of the book.
of the whole book.
Yeah, okay.
Me too. Because I read it like months before this thing came out.
Before it came out.
Yeah.
So
You guys know the story?
the Pebble story. Essentially, she's writing about her little sister, their kids. They're playing on a driveway. They're discovering their bodies.
Yeah, she's wearing a diaper. There's pebbles in her diaper.
Yeah, her little
Ugh,
sister
so
gets,
stupid.
as kids are wont to do, gets some pebbles in her vagina. And
Yes.
and there's this whole situation where Lena helps get him out.
Yeah.
Anyway, I immediately thought, oh my gosh, so many. I never had pebbles in my vagina, but similar stories,
Right.
embarrassing
Sand.
stories, sand stuff, playing,
Whatever,
stuff like that.
all that stuff.
And a lot of right-wing people.
There's a guy freaking out over there, right?
It's okay. No, seriously, let me just. No. Yeah.
Oh, you have a 3-year-old. You get it.
Okay, you get it.
You're discovering
get
the
it.
vagina in so many ways you didn't even know. You didn't even know about a vagina until you had a 3-year-old daughter. Now you're just like, holy shit, these things are incredible. So much cleaning. Why do we circumcise boys when girls have this whole environment in there?
Storage space.
Oh my God.
It's incredible. Don't even remember what the question is. Oh yeah, there was a lot of outrage. People, and this news story lasted
It still does.
disgustingly,
No.
disgustingly.
People still say that she's molested
a child
her
molester.
sister.
She
They
molested
say,
her
yeah.
sister. It was horrific.
Nonstop. When people find out we're friends, they're like, "You're friends with a child molester?"
No way.
Online. These people are
They're
crazy.
still sorry for yelling.
Yeah, no.
They're still at that.
They're still at that. I mean, that's the only thing they know about Lena Dunham.
She's a child molester.
Is that she's a child molester.
Holy shit.
It's crazy.
Does
People are dumb. They voted Trump in.
that's we're getting there. We're getting
Yeah.
there. But does that kind of reaction from what I thought was and you clearly
Yeah,
thought was
great
a
story.
great story, does that paralyze you? Does it ever
No.
make you
No.
That doesn't even make you anxious?
No, because I've always got the backup of my editors who were out here who would definitely be like, you might want to think about this, which I didn't really get in this book at all, I don't think. There were a few times. I know in the first book it was AIDS.
Okay.
That's my editor, Kate, from HarperCollins. I remember she called me one day and she was like, Kelly, you might want to take out how many times you mention AIDS in the book. I think it's 37. And I was like, oh, like, isn't that not a lot for a book with 90,000 words? She's like, no, it's kind of a lot. I was like, okay. So yeah, I've got backup. I just write freely, and if there's something crazy, she'll tell me.
The chapter called There is a Man Who Powders His Balls. Was that a
Yeah.
chapter that your editor sort of got a little
No.
funny about? She was fine? Can you let the audience know what went down in that chapter without giving away like the juicy ball bits?
My husband told me that he understood what it was like to be a woman, which made me really mad. And then he proceeded to tell me that at the gym there was a man who was basically, staring at him while he powdered his balls in the after a workout in the locker room. And he would make eye contact, and I was like, but you're making eye contact with the guy who's powdering his balls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he felt objectified. He felt his body was being objectified. He said when he changed, this guy would stare at him and would smile at him and was interested in him, basically. And he was like, this is what women must feel like all the time when they walk down the street, because the way he leers at me is the way I imagine women get leered at all the time by men.
In the change room.
Anywhere
You got
on the
a
street.
full glimpse of that.
He thought he did.
Was
He thought he did.
you got a glimpse of
He
something.
got a glimpse of
But maybe not a complete picture. Was he nervous about you including this story?
No, he didn't care at all.
He doesn't care.
No, he doesn't care at all.
Totally fine.
He's just like, whatever. do whatever you want with
He's
your
used
life.
to it.
He's used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to switch gears a bit because I've heard that you are working on a talk show with the producer from Spotlight.
Well, maybe.
Maybe?
Well, maybe. I mean, we're trying,
You're
but
trying.
it's such a hard environment to start anything like a talk show. Is very difficult. But it would be amazing.
Can you tell us, like, if it...
I would want to
What would it be like? What
it would be
look
like
like?
a town hall type of show with a moderator, and it would be topics like what's it actually like to be Muslim in America? What's it actually like to be a 16-year-old girl in America? And have groups of people come in and just talk and vent the same way that Not Okay happened on Twitter, where everybody got a voice and everybody got to be heard. We would want to do the same thing with a talk show.
Wow.
With like a late night show.
Would you host it?
No.
You wouldn't host
I just
it?
produce it.
You just produce
I
it?
just like tinker.
No interest in hosting it?
No, we'd have to get a star.
What the fuck? Sorry.
We'd have to get a star. We'd have to get somebody fabulous to do it.
Again,
No.
anyway. Not okay hashtag. For those who don't know, but I'm sure everyone does, it rose out like a phoenix from the disgusting ashes of that conversation that Donald Trump had with Billy Bush, where they exchanged information about sexually assaulting women.
Okay.
And you saw that, and you heard it, and you shared 3 of your own sexual assaults on Twitter. And more than 40 million people responded with theirs, which is an extraordinary
incredible, yeah.
thing to have happened. Did it cause you anxiety? Because that's 40 million. Like,
I know. Anxiety's not the right word for it. Paralysis is maybe a better word for it. I couldn't move for 2 days.
really?
Yeah, I just was just red.
Oh my God.
I just stayed in bed and people brought me food.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it was nonstop.
Because I couldn't stop reading it because I felt like everybody was sending me these stories and I couldn't stop reading them because that would be mean. So I just kept reading them and and as it went viral, trying to get the media involved, just so that it would blow up and become, bigger than just people sending me things online,
Right.
which it did. The New York Times had it on the cover, and I was on a bunch of news programs and PBS NewsHour and a ton of things. So, yeah, but it was really intense. And all of my friends were like, "This is a great thing. You're doing such a great thing." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, but like, just take my phone for 5 minutes and live it and give it back to me." And everybody sort of lasted like 30 seconds, and they were like, "We don't want."
They couldn't do it.
We can't
They
read
couldn't
that.
do it.
Yeah, we can't read that.
Do you still get them, or is there anything, I guess, like that was just such an overwhelming response? And as you said, New York
Yeah.
Times, all the
Yeah.
news channels that you were on, I guess, what next? Like, how does
I don't
what happens?
know. I think I'm still stuck on that.
Yeah.
And talking about that, and I'm really interested in, trying to change the dialogue from what girls can do to protect themselves to talking to young boys about, because I don't think men are inherently bad, and I don't think that men set out to hurt women. I just think that there's a culture of women are objects, whether there's alcohol involved with men drinking or not alcohol. Women are objects that we can sometimes touch if we feel like touching, and I think that we just have to start talking to boys about sexuality and talking to boys about objectification of women, and we haven't been teaching young boys those things. Instead, we've been telling girls not to wear shorts, which I didn't really notice until my 2 oldest kids are an almost 16-year-old girl and a 13-year-old boy, and even just the way I was raised, I started, as they were getting older, I started thinking like, oh, my daughter's buying an underwire push-up bra.
Wow.
And I'm just like, oh, what's going on here? And then I'm like, no, I should be talking to my son. And so it's just a matter of sort of undoing the way that we were all raised to see things,
So what do those conversations with Henry look like? And Henry is
Henry's 13, so I'm just really lightly.
That's
Because he's not there yet.
No.
He's like 8 months away. Like, I know, it's
Yeah.
8 months.
Yeah.
I'm watching it, I'm like, he's getting closer, but yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
You said recently in an Ask Kelly Oxford thing, I think it was on a Facebook Live, that you were sick of seeing that family, and you were going to cancel your cable. That family being,
yeah.
I believe, the
I did.
Trumps. And you did that.
I canceled.
You canceled
I have
your
no
cable.
TV. I have no TV. I haven't had TV for over a month now.
You did
I
it.
can't do it. I can't watch them anymore. Every time I turn on the TV, it's like Trump and all these. I'm not interested.
We get a lot of it here in Canada. We turn on the TV and we get a lot of Trump. But I can't imagine.
Oh my God, it's nonstop. Every day is just a crisis. I'm like, no, every day can't be a crisis. I don't want a TV if every day is going to be a crisis. I can't deal with it.
So it's done.
It's done. There's no cable in my house.
How
There's
does-
Hulu, which is great. There's
yeah.
Netflix.
Wonderful.
Great. I can buy shows and watch them, but I can't deal with it anymore. It's too stressful.
Has there been a change at all in how you feel with that alleviated?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Like much more peaceful. I feel like a little out of the loop, but not in anything super important.
Yeah, because you can get that from social media,
Yeah,
presumably.
yeah, and
Find
people
out
will
that
let
he
me know.
believed this civil war didn't
Right.
really need to start.
Right.
Or why
and
did
I
it
feel
start?
like too. Yeah. I feel.
I mean, really.
I feel like there's a lot of in a couple of days there's going to be a nuclear war. Like I see that every day and I'm like, okay, well, if it ain't happening, let's just shut up because I don't want to be stressed every day about a nuclear war that's never going to fucking happen because my dad lived through that and he's still stressed out about it. Oh man. He still talks about it
Did he
all
have a
the
bunker?
time.
Did he have a security?
He remembers his teacher saying, "Have a good weekend. We're probably going to be dead by Monday. Don't." And he was like in the 5th grade, and he thought that was it. He talks about it. He tells me that story once a year.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah. So I got rid of the TV. I don't need to hear anything.
Are the kids in tune with it at all? Like, has that been a change
They didn't
from
even
Calgary?
notice. No, they didn't even notice. With the politics, you mean?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
because we're activists now. We have to be
actively,
activists now. We have to protest and we have to make signs and we have to go and do things. So these are all great learning things for them. I wish that I had activism in my life when I was, a young kid.
Yeah.
It's nice for them to see people putting, their, going out and doing things rather than sitting, like everybody in my family just sat around the table and drank wine and complained about shit.
Yeah.
And we're going like downtown LA and getting into marches and doing all of that stuff. It's really, LA is a really great city. It's really amazing.
And more crystals, I presume.
So many crystals.
More crystals in Calgary.
So many crystals. It's
Yeah.
crystal heaven there. I love it.
You
I love
you
it.
Love
So
the
many
crystals.
crystals.
You love
I buy them all the time.
You do. Do you have any crystals in your bra right now?
No,
or,
they're at the
like,
hotel room.
Oh my gosh.
I brought a couple with me. I brought a rose quartz, just for those who are curious, and a carnelian.
Did Spencer Pratt, your
My good friend that I met
Yeah.
the other day. Did anybody see me actually meet him the other day? Oh my God. Yeah, he really freaked me out. I told him I was going to be at this coffee shop. I told him I was going to be at this coffee shop in Carpinteria, and I know he goes to this coffee shop, and I was with my boyfriend, and I was like, okay, I'm going to be there, Spencer. And he didn't respond, and we were at the coffee shop, and he just came up to me and fully ambushed me.
Oh my gosh.
But I've been to that coffee shop so many times, I didn't think it was ever going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very funny. He's amazing. He's like a character.
Like a true character.
A real character with like a good heart, but like obsessed with the wrong things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, congratulations on being on the cover of Us Weekly because you're pregnant. Like, that's the most exciting thing to him is that he's on the cover of Us Weekly.
Yeah.
It's like wrong thing to be obsessed with, but like good heart, good guy.
It would be kind of amazing, though, to
Oh
be
my
on the
God.
cover of Us Weekly. Like, it kind of like, I'm not going to lie.
I
that
don't
would
know,
be,
for a baby announcement. I don't know.
That would be.
I don't know.
Okay, we'll agree
We'll
to disagree on that.
one, yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah, that's okay.
Coffee shops and stuff, like, do you get what my friend calls short form for recognized, nized? And she says it like that. Do you get
Nice.
nized a lot?
Oh,
Recognized? Yeah. You can say nized. You can use it. I don't know. I like it.
I'm
but-
gonna use it. Do
Yeah.
I get nized a lot?
Yeah.
I got nized at the
my gosh,
Americana. Yeah, in Glendale the other day. Yeah, I get nized.
Well, how does that go down?
The last girl got so uncomfortable she didn't walk away, and I felt so bad for her. She tapped me very hard to the point where I was like, why is my sister here? Because only my sister hurts me. And then she was like, oh my God, it's so nice to meet you. And I was like, thank you so much for coming up to me and saying hello. It was really nice. And she's like, I love you so much, blah, blah, blah. But then she just kept going because she was uncomfortable, like instead of just walking away. And I had thanked her and said it was nice meeting her, and she didn't have her phone out, so she didn't want a picture. So I just kind of was just standing there nodding, and she just kept repeating the same thing over and over and over.
Oh my gosh.
And she was at work. It was in her place of work.
Yeah.
I know. I felt so bad for her.
Oh.
I know.
Are the kids
You
ever?
can't sneak away when
No.
somebody's doing that either. You just have to stand there and wait till they're done.
And wait till they're done.
I know, and I felt so
Like
bad.
a dog peeing.
She
Or,
was so sweet.
yeah. You just have to wait.
I just
Let
had
him
to wait.
finish.
Yeah.
Let him finish.
Yeah.
Are the kids
Finish
ever
the
there when nizing happens?
Yeah, they've been there when nizing happens. And then it's just awkward when the person walks away and they just look at me like,
You're a joke. Yeah.
you? Are you kidding me?
Still.
Somebody cares about you?
Still.
Oh, yeah.
I just think, like, do you feel like there's going to be a change
No.
in the wind, and that's
No.
going to
No, they don't care. They're just like, why would anybody want to say hi to you?
Really?
Yes.
You're Kelly Oxford, man.
No, that's mom.
That's
Ew,
mom.
Gross.
Get me a Coke.
Yeah, exactly.
What's
Can
for
I borrow
dinner?
$20?
Yeah.
Yeah, not even what's for dinner. I'm done with what's for dinner. It's
Get
can
outta
I-
here.
It's can I have $20 or can I Postmates some food?
Sorry.
Do you know what Postmates is?
No.
Oh my God.
What's Postmates?
You guys know what Uber is? Okay, so in LA, Postmates are basically Ubers that aren't working, and they will go to any restaurant and get you food and drive it to your house, including like Taco Bell or McDonald's or any food at any restaurant. It doesn't even matter what restaurant it is. So my kids are obsessed with it.
It sounds amazing.
It is amazing, but it's like there's no more what's for dinner, Mom. It's like I'm going to Postmates.
Postmate.
And they've got the app.
They've got the technology to do
yeah,
it
they've
themselves.
got the app to do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Times are changing. Technology apps, Snapchat, Instagram stories. I need you to break this down for me. I've
Okay.
resisted Snapchat. This is your medium. This is your art form.
I love
Recently
Snapchat.
read Instagram stories, though, since it started. Don't be alarmed. But it's like sucked a lot of business away from Snapchat. Instagram stories is the
has.
thing. What is it about Snapchat?
It's just way cooler.
Is it cool?
It's way cooler. I don't know. You can do so much more on it than Instagram Stories is just like a little tag along to Instagram, which is amazing. I don't know. Spencer Pratt and I had a huge talk about this on. I wish he was here right now because he would have a lot to fucking say about Snapchat. But we were just saying that it's so much better. Snapchat's just like a private, its own like special thing.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a little club. Does anybody out here agree with me?
Isn't
about
lots of people have Snapchat?
Okay, Snapchat's better, right?
For me, I think because of my age, it was just
These
like
are my people.
after having all these social media things when Snapchat came out, it was just like I can't do another one.
Well, and because Snapchat too isn't. I mean, it's not like an Apple thing. Like it's not easy to figure out how to do Snapchat. They
Yeah.
made it difficult to, I think, purposefully keep people off, which shouldn't be the point of a new
but
app.
maybe just to keep the right people on.
Right. But I don't know how you make money or build from that, but they definitely made it difficult to learn because
Wow.
I am super tech savvy and it took me a while to figure out.
Wow.
I was too embarrassed to ask my kids how to do it.
But they knew how.
Oh, they knew how.
But you did it on your own.
But I did it on
Hey.
my own. I've been doing it for 3.5 years,
That's
all
a
on my own.
big deal.
It's a big deal.
From all accounts, you do it incredibly well.
Thank you.
I might get the app if I can
Should.
figure
It's
out how
so
to.
much fun. You would love it.
I
Watch
don't
it
know,
before
so much
bed.
anxiety.
Oh my God.
Before bed, I don't
But
watch
you don't have
screens
to do
before
any-
bed.
Oh, you
That's a
don't?
rule. You can't do that. Don't you read? Like
But
you
these
can't
ones
look at
don't
screens
count.
before bed.
Really?
Yeah, that's
That's
a
the
big.
only way I fall asleep.
Oh my God.
I think you're psyching yourself out. I think you can watch your Snap stories before bed. Who else watches Snap stories before bed? Round of applause, round of applause, round of applause. See? They all sleep, too. You can do it, girl.
Let's come full circle. We're running out of time. Elizabeth Moss was recently profiled in Vulture, and it was a great profile. And she admitted to the writer that she planned out exactly what she wore because her favorite part of any profile is when the writer describes, everything that she was wearing. I got these shoes from here, and she loves reading that. And she just had her fingers crossed that he would ask her this, because everything had a story.
Right.
Is there a question that you're always like, oh God, I hope this idiot asks me this question.
Oh my God.
And then they never ask the question that you're prepared for? You've maybe...
Oh, that's such a good idea, though. I haven't.
No, there's never
haven't.
something that you think,
No, I just always
I'm gonna
want it
just
to be a
hit
good
this
talk.
one out of the
I just
park.
always am like hoping that there's like chemistry between me and the person that I'm talking to. Right? Yeah, you're doing good.
yeah?
Yeah. You're doing good. You're doing good. You're doing good. That's all I really care about, because sometimes there's no chemistry.
Oh,
and that's
boy.
hard. Like, that's a jagged road to go down on my hands and knees, bleeding blood behind me as I'm talking for an hour. It's brutal.
Yeah.
It happens.
So this went by fast, like
Yeah,
you feel...
this went by really fast.
That's great.
It can be brutal.
That's great.
People don't get along with everybody.
Oh, shit.
I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
It's true.
Well, I'm done. That's a great spot to leave it.